Alright guys, it's your brother Set here. I always gotta start a video with a little laugh, get the session going. Last video, this is video 105, I believe. Last one, yeah, obviously 104. But we're back, classes in session once again. And I like to think of these videos as sessions, because that's what they really are. I sit here and I talk. But basically, for a lot of you, it's kind of like a learning process. We're all learning together, but when I come here in this digital format to people everywhere, all across the globe, at least in this physical reality, maybe in other realms of dimensional as well. But when anyone speaks, it's kind of like a private session going on. It's like your own private little world that you can, get into with other like-minded individuals. And that's one of the beauties of having the internet now, Just think of thousands of years ago, this type of format wasn't around. So it was a lot different during those times. You had to get lucky enough to find other like-minded individuals talking about things that we're talking about in these videos that might be deemed as the occult. I don't see it as the occult, but these subjects might be taken as the occult from other individuals, When you get into ideas and concepts and facts of multidimensionality, other realms of reality, out-of-body experiences, dreams. A long time ago, this stuff would be punishable by death. You couldn't just freely talk about this. So it's a blessing that we have technology now that you can reach millions and millions of people across the globe. And if you are in an environment where you feel like you are a minority or even just alone, you do have a place. Like regardless of what thought or belief anyone comes up with, everyone has a place to reach out to now thanks to the internet. So that's a good thing. Now, the last video we talked about, what did we talk about? I don't remember. Oh yeah, worship. We talked about worshiping. And a lot of people hit me up in the comment section of the video. Some people hit me up in private talking about these things. And as I say all the time, at the end of the day, it really has to come down to you realizing that whatever things you believe that you're working with, they are extensions of yourself. That's the only way to go about it. Now, I know a lot of people heard me talk in the past about I may have went off in some videos like fuck spells and spells of protection spells. I probably went on. I'm holding the video, guys, so just bear with me, because I don't have a balance. I'm in a hallway chilling right now. But you guys have heard me in the past go off about spells, right? Now, I know that could be a bit confusing for a lot of individuals because they say, well, I need protection, well, how do I protect myself from outside forces trying to get at me? And in past videos, it may have seemed like I was downplaying the concept of spells and protecting yourself. I want to reiterate basically on that. Look, the protection comes from, I'm switching hands, that hand's getting tired. What are protection spells, right? Now, there's a lot of mediums out there, a lot of things people do, a lot of different religions. Every specific religious group or spiritual belief, they have their own version of what protection spells could be, might be, or should be. From the area that I'm coming from, the protection comes from, now this is where it's going to get, some people might get upset, but hey, this is just how it is. Protection spells are unnecessary if you understand the nature of reality. You see, when you're focusing on spells, see, the very concept of saying that you need a protection spell, that in itself opens you up to so-called attack, whether spiritual attack, psychic attack, mental attack, any form of attack that you believe you need a spell to protect you from. The idea that you need a spell is what invites the attack itself, see? Because like if you say, well, the only way I can have a protection is if I need to carry this crucifix with me on a daily basis. As long as I have this blessed crucifix that I got from the Pope himself or from the Vatican, or when I traveled to Italy and I got this cross and it's been blessed by 1,000 priests on, on the Sabbath day, and you have all these things that you believe are what's going to protect you. That's fine. But what happens when, I'm covering something, covering the camera, that's important. But what happens when these spells, I'm keeping track of times, I gotta get back. What happens when you lose that crucifix? What happens when the crucifix gets stolen? What happens when that cross falls off your neck during the course of the day, whether you're working or just going about, and you reach down to grab it for protection, so you feel like someone's initiating an attack on you, and it's gone? Well, then what happens? You're pretty much stuck now. So now, because you put all this belief into this spell, or the idea that this crucifix or this cross or this pendant coin, it doesn't have to be a crucifix. So say, a crucifix protects me. Look, anything that you believe is going to give you this protection, right? Once that item is lost, you're pretty much fucked. I mean, that's how it is, if you follow that way of thinking, right? Because the item itself, you've placed so much value onto the item that you believe that this is the only thing that can protect you from unseen forces. Once that item is gone, you now have no line of defense. You have nothing. You have nothing to fall back on. You can do all the Hail Marys you want, you can pray to all the gods you want, it's gone. So therefore, in that brief time frame where you need to gather another pendant, another cross, another coin, lucky pouch, whatever it is, the time you need to get back and find another one, get something else blessed by another priest or another shaman or whatever, you're leaving yourself open for attack. Through your belief system, you're leaving yourself open to these psychic attacks. So, my point is this, right? When you understand the true nature of reality, sorry, I know the camera's jumping around, so I don't know why my hand's getting the cramp. But look, when you understand the true nature of reality, that is your defense. You see what I'm saying? That's the defense. That's what a lot of people don't realize. The defense does not come against psychic, conceived ideas of, psychic attacks, astral attacks, all these things. It doesn't come from this external force or this external item. The protection comes from you understanding the deep nature of reality and where your true power comes from, and not even where it comes from, where you originate from. And from that gives you the protection that you need. So let me break it down some more, right? Let me break it down a little bit more. Let's say, for example, right? Now I'm going to give you two individuals, right? Yeah, one individual who believes, who knows, not even a belief. They know and understand that there are infinite number of realities, right? Infinite number of possible realities, probable realities, right? And they understand that they are a physical manifestation of all that is. It's just, that's what they are. They believe that, they know that to their very core, and this is how they live their daily lives, right? I'm a part of all that is. I am a creator, I'm a manifester on the creator level. I'm simply temporarily in a physical reality right now, but once I leave the mortal realm and I get rid of this physical flesh, I return back to my true state, which I'm always a part of my true state. Just in these waking hours of physical reality, this is what I am for a brief moment. But at all times, you're already connected to other realities, right? Now, when you understand that, this individual goes out, let's say at nighttime, they are in their house. They see a shadow in the hallway. It walks by them. Or they hear a noise. Or they, in the middle of the night, they have a shadow being, and all these other classics that people talk about, right? That individual takes it as it is. They go, oh, there's a shadow, interesting. And they go on about their business. Or they take a note and they go, that's interesting. I wonder what that shadow was doing. Was that a probable self of mine? Could have been me from another reality, looking back, a thought form projected through an alternate timeline that's visiting me, or could be something that I'm projecting. These are just a few samples of how this individual thinks. The individual does not jump to extreme ideas. They immediately go into concepts and ideas of possibilities of what that could be. And none of them are negative. It's okay, that could have been an astral projection of someone else. It could have been a projection of myself from a future self that's thinking about this moment right now, that's coming backwards in time and is viewing me right now. It could be a projection from a past self that's projecting itself into the future to view me. So, projection of past self into the present, projection from future self to the present, it's all coming to the present moment. These are some of the ideas, and this is just a few, it's not everything, but that's just a few examples of how the multidimensional being that's living in a physical reality at this moment, who understands that they are a physical manifestation of all that is, just temporarily inhabiting a physical body. Now, the other extreme, hold on, keep track of time, all right. The other extreme, you have this individual who believes and they need protection spells, they believe in demons, astral demons, they need, they have to go through a whole ritual on a daily basis to protect themselves because everyone's trying to get them. Now, that individual is sitting in their living room at night, and from the corner of their eye, they glance over and they see a shadow. Well, this is the person that jumps, oh my God, it's a demon. A demon's out to get me because I made a pact in a past life with this entity and now it's coming to collect my soul, or I'm under astral attack. Someone's trying to attack me and I need to... They jump to all these conclusions that are based on fear. Fear that's based on their inability to accept what they are, to understand what they truly are. So they end up with all these, random, wild ideas of either someone is trying to attack them or some force is trying to attack them and get at them. And they could be able to avoid all of that if they simply just know what they are. I know it's tough for a lot of people, right? Because, okay, I'll make you laugh, right? There's a new movie coming out. Go on the internet, go on YouTube, check it out, right? I think it comes out next year. It's called Astral. That's the name of this film, right? So I saw the trailer, and this shit had me laughing, man, because not only saw the trailer one time, and this is not an attack against the actors who are in the film. I'm quite sure they'll do a good job. It's not about them. But it's the theme of the movie, right? That this movie's like you see them going through the trailer, and it's like, I wanted to contact, and I don't know these exact words, I'm just paraphrasing, but it's kind of like, I wanted to see what was on the other side, so I started meditating. And then they have this next scene, this guy's like, well, you got to get into astral projection, because astral projection can take you to the side. And then it's like, you brought something back from the other side. It was an evil spirit. And then they bring in a priest, and I'm like, for those of you who've been watching my videos for a long time, you remember the face? That's the face that I have to make when I see this type of shit. Because it's like, why do they do this? Like, all right, we know it's Hollywood. We know, it's a movie, right? So they're trying to make a film and it's entertainment. But the way our present society is set up, most individuals get in contact or come into this type of information sometimes through film. They might not know anything about astral projection. They don't know anything about dreams, lucid dreaming. Shit, man. Like over here in Japan, I would say 99% of the people in all my years of teaching here, every student I ever had whose English level is pretty decent, when I bring up the concept of lucid dreaming, so you know what lucid dreaming is? They're like, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, it's a very easy ability that anyone could learn if they just put in the time where you could consciously control your dreams. You're in the dream state, you can control it, and from there, other things you can learn to do. And they all look at me like I'm crazy. That every person looks at me like I'm fucking crazy. When I talk about it, they go, what are you talking about, control your dreams? This sounds like some religious. It's nothing to do with religion, man. It's just, it's a natural state that we can get into. And it goes over their head because in Japanese culture, this is not really a thing. And just for people to know, just let me jump on this sidetrack real quick. I don't want to detract, but for those, I've been in Japan a long time, and a lot of people have a lot of fantasy images about what Japan is like, and I was one of them before coming here, and coming back into memory of what I truly am. But a lot of people think Japan is like this deep spiritual country where everyone's, because they watch a lot of Hollywood movies, and Japan is very interesting, right? Because there's temples everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's a temple. You know, like it could be like a small shrine in between like a convenience store and a department store, and you see like a tiny little shrine that's right stuck in between with some, you know, statues or something. Or there's like giant temples all over the place. So you would think from that, obviously, well, Japan must be a deeply spiritual country. The average individual doesn't give two shits about religion, spirituality. On special holidays, they go to temples, they clap their hands, they pray to whoever, because most of them don't even know what the gods are, who they're praying to. They say that they're Buddhists, but generally they don't give a shit. Nobody really cares. No one gets into religion or any spiritual beliefs beyond that. Now, of course, there are some that probably do, and I've met them, but the large majority of people don't give a shit about any of this stuff. So, my point saying that, you take those kind of people, whether in Japan or anywhere in the world, who don't know anything about this, and they watch a movie. And in a movie they go, in the beginning, they go, oh wow, astral projection, astral travel, that sounds interesting, lucid dreaming. If that was real, this would be interesting. And then the movie jumps to the horrific parts, like, oh, you brought back an evil spirit, a demon from hell. And then those people, they end up going, oh, fuck that, man, I'm not messing with that, man. Meditation, dream manipulation, no, I don't want that demon to get me. They're watching a movie. They forget it's a movie, but because the movie touches on these points, they immediately jump to, well, that's a possibility that could happen. You know, it's like, well, I know it's just a movie, but if people are claiming they're doing it, then there is a chance that this could go bad and then I'll be attacked by a spirit, so I don't want to deal with that. And then they have other experiences that further validate that. For example, like in Japan, they call kanashibari. Kanashibari is basically sleep paralysis. But in Japan, I met many students that go, oh yeah, kanashibari, I always get kanashibari. And sometimes I open my eyes and I see a spirit or a demon that's next to me, and you know, when I try to explain it to them, man, that's sleep paralysis. You know, your body's waking up, your mind is waking up faster than your body, and sometimes if you do project out at that time, this is what people call astral projection, where you're basically leaving your physical body because your mother is like, just that's completely over them at that point. So I can't even get that far with a lot of people. But, you know, that scary experience that they have no reference point to, because in Japan there's not a lot of reference points for this type of stuff, it's easy for them to jump to the negative and say, well, it's a demon or it's an evil god or whatever. So this is why these things are detrimental to the individual, these kind of movies. For me, it's just entertainment. So if I do get around to watching a movie on the internet or whatever, I mean, it'd just be funny. I'd be like, oh, interesting. But for other people, they take these things as like a kind of, you know, how do we say, a preview of what's to come if they get into, you know, those areas. So yeah, man, it's a lot of Hollywood does a big disservice sometimes. And it's entertainment, and that's what people need to understand. It's just entertainment. So yeah, man, back to what I was saying about protection spells. Excuse me. You knowing this information is the protection itself. You don't need protection spells because you understand the nature of reality. When you understand the true nature of reality and what reality is and what you are, that in itself is your line of defense. The first line of defense, the first and last line of defense and even attack, it's mental. It always is. I don't care what happens. It could be a shootout in a department store, which we know that's pretty common now, where people just, it's become fashionable to just start randomly shooting in places, whether it's, you know, public establishments, schools, or whatever. That's a common thing now. But even in those extreme situations, the first line of defense is mental. I know, so what do you mean? You know, what do you mean it's mental? Because there's a guy with a gun and he's going crazy, or a woman with a gun. What I mean is that when that event happens, the first thing that takes over is your mental state, fear. You either panic and you start screaming and you can run right into a bullet or right into the path of your danger, or you keep cool. You think fast, you think quick on your feet. Like I just heard this shooter that just happened in a bar recently in America. Where this, you know, the guy started shooting and you had people smashing out windows with tables and jumping through the window, or flipping tables over for defense, you know, against bullets. That's what I mean. It's mental. If you if your line of defense is weak, you have a weak mental state, you just shut down. It's like fight or flight syndrome. You know, you either try to fight and get your way out of the situation, or you run. And for a lot of individuals, they don't prepare themselves. They're very weak mentally. So when things happen that are outside of the norm of the status quo of what's supposed to be daily life, people shut down, people panic, people start crying. There's a long list of things that can happen. Excuse me. A lot of things that can happen, right? So they have a weak line of defense. So, but that's physical reality. And we all know that things can happen any minute with violence, extreme violence, prejudice, hate groups. These kind of things happen all the time. But when you get into the so-called paranormal, or things dealing with non-physical realities, things that are completely out of the scope of the status quo, what's normal, that's a whole nother ball game, man, because I think a lot of individuals can handle crazy guy with gun. Like crazy guy with gun, that's alright. We hear it all the time on the news. Crazy guy with gun, random slasher on the subway in New York. There's always all this stuff, right? But a lot of individuals are not built or prepared mentally or emotionally or psychically or whatever you want to call it. They're not ready for you turn to your left at 3 a.m. and there's something standing in your doorway looking at you. It's not a person, it's not a crazy person, it's something else. People are not ready for that shit. You know, they panic, and based on Hollywood and preconceived ideas, it's easy to jump into the negative. It's a demon, it's an evil spirit, someone's put a hex out on me, someone's working some hoodoo against me, they're trying to get at me. So, you need to understand where you come from. And I said this in the last video, when you understand and know that you are a physical manifestation of the true force, all that is, you don't worry about spirits or evil demons or whatever, and you need protection spells. That information is a protection in itself. And because you don't need protection, because you realize it's nothing can hurt you, nothing can come at you, nothing can touch you. Excuse me. Too much information, man. They're trying to hold me down. It's a spirit. Nah, man, I got like 2 minutes, but look, I'm in it. I gotta finish this video, right? But things are gonna be changing soon, man, with my channel. I wanna start trying to come back on a more consistent basis. I know I said this in the past many times, but I might be getting a new computer soon, so I'm trying to up things a bit where I can help you guys out more. Because look, at this point it's like, who else is gonna do it, you know? You know your brother said here, I'm trying to get you guys right, make you all strong. It's been my main point from since day one, empowering you guys, keeping you strong. And who else is gonna do it? Shit, no one else is gonna do it, so I'm gonna take it upon myself to be the one to help you guys become more powerful, understand more where you come from. And I'm just, you know, I'm a multi-dimensional being in physical reality, and that in itself, it makes things kind of complicated because a lot of people don't know how to deal with that. You know, like they know me on a daily basis, but if they watch this video, like, what the fuck is he talking about, man? And I have to carry myself a certain way in day-to-day life because I'm in a physical reality. But a lot of times I don't give a shit, and I carry myself as I am, a multi-dimensional being. And when people meet me, they think this guy's fucking crazy. I gotta go. I'll get back at you guys later. Think about what I talked about, meditate on it. SUMARI to everybody out there. Love you guys later.